Guys, why do we love Mego so much? What's the connection? I think for me, the connection, as we look at these beautiful reproduction figures of Mego figures from the 1970s, the connection for me was fantastic toys, great childhood memories. That's the connection. And as we enter a new year, 2020, with Mego, I would like to see Mego return to its retro roots. I would like to see Mego put out figures that we had in the 1970s. And I'll tell you why, guys. Once again, I want to point out, I absolutely love all of the products that Mego is putting out. But as I sit here in my museum, just thinking, wondering, dreaming, I should say, I still can't help but to think I would love to see another 8-inch Mego Shazam. I would like to see Batman. Now, we have some Batman figures coming out. Now, here's my thing with that. I want the retro Batman figures. No one could do the retro Batman figures as well as Mego did it. And these are pretty darn good. Extremely good. And this is by Figures Toy Company. And let's move quality to the side. But it just as far as looks, aesthetics, very beautiful. This is the removable cowl box, window box, removable cowl Batman. That's what I'm looking for from Mego. My Long John Silver, World's Greatest Pirates. I would like to see Mego come out with these guys. Robin, the retro Robin. I want the retro Robin. This is the one with the removable mask. Why not? His glove is down here at the bottom of the box. Window boxes, Kresge cards. These are the things I would love to see Mego put out in the near future. Now, are there some licensing or property right issues? Do Figures Toy Company, own some rights to that? Or I don't know. But I only can tell you what I would like to see. Is it possible? We don't know. We do know that Mego is bringing out 8-inch DC superheroes. We don't know in what format. We don't know how head sculpts and how the bodies will look. We just don't. We don't have any insight on that. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're hanging out here today in the museum, and we're just contemplating. We're thinking about Mego from the 1970s. And guys, I know what you're gonna say. Well, it's not the 1970s anymore, M.I.B. It's not the early 1980s. This is not the Mego that you grew up with. This is not the Mego that you fell in love with as a child. This is the 21st century Mego. And they want to connect to a broader audience. They want to connect with a bigger fan base. It's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business. And I understand that. Believe me, I understand that. It's a business. I don't have a problem with Mego tending to the needs of millions. I'd have no problem with that. I want them to make their money. I want Mego to make their money. If Mego makes their money, they're in business for a very long time, and they're very successful. Everybody wins in that, in that scenario. What I'm saying, as I'm looking at my World's Greatest Nights, another set of figures I would love for Mego to recreate. What I'm saying is, I want Mego, whether it's 5 or 6 characters, I just want Mego to return to its retro roots. Bring back some of the figures that we as kids had. Planet of the Apes, the Teen Titans, the Aquaman, Shazam, the removable cowl Batman, the World's Greatest Super Knights. And what I don't want to hear, okay, what I don't want to hear from anybody, Mego collectors, or you can say it, I just don't want to hear it. Don't tell me about a figure. Let's pick one. Let's say let's use the World's Greatest Super Knights. Don't tell me about the cost of making this figure. Don't tell me about the popularity of this figure. Don't tell me that you won't be able to sell a number of units of this figure. This is why you can't do it. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. We've seen figures, guys, from every end of the spectrum with the new Mego figures. Some are peg warmers. Some have sold very well. Others are kind of lukewarm. You can't tell me that the World's Greatest Super Knights, made in their retro form that we're looking at right here, would not sell. You can't tell me that. Because, and my counter argument to that would be simply this. You're not selling to the younger generation anyway. Guys, let's stop kidding ourselves. Let's stop kidding ourselves. You're not selling this to the 15-year-olds could care less about 8-inch action figures. Okay. Do we have a few out there? Yes, we do have a few, but we're not talking about a few 15-year-old collectors or 16-year-old collectors or even 18-year-old collectors. We're talking about the majority. So you don't have that demographic anyway. So it wouldn't hurt to put, or to trial test, do a trial run, test run of maybe 1,000 figures. Okay, you know what? How about 10,000 figures? Why not? I mean, that's how many Tooties were out there. That's how many Joe Polnicheks were out there. That's how many Blair figures were out there. That's how many Cheers figures were out there. You can't tell me that these figures would not sell. Mego simply needs to return to its roots. Not forever, but it should have a small collectible section in its roster of retro figures from the 1970s. As we look at our Kretzky card, yellow sleeve, removable mask Robin. I mean, why not? You can't tell me the Kretzky card figures that's produced by Mego, not Figures Toy Company, but produced by Mego, would not sell like hotcakes. I've heard a lot of collectors say that they're being extremely selective now in their purchasing their purchases of Mego figures. They are simply waiting for Mego to put out certain figures, or they just simply won't purchase them. Well, I mean that's fine, and I understand it, you know. But Mego needs to hear that. Mego needs to understand that I'm not saying they have to put out home run after home run, one smash hit after another, but it's got to be pretty close to that, because your demographic isn't this broad fan base. It's really small. It's very small. You got kids of the 70s, kids of the late 1960s, and maybe kids of the early 1980s that's supporting this. That's your demographic, age-wise. And then you have some younger, a few younger generations thrown in there, small amounts of people that are under 20 years old that are really into this. Give us what we want, guys. Mego, give us what we want. We want Batman with the removable cowl. And and you know what? If it's Batman that's on tap to come out in January or February, or whenever Mego releases their figures with the removable cowl, that's fantastic. But we don't have a lot of insight into what's coming out. So that's why I create these videos. I'm a collector first and foremost. I like what I like. I want what I want. I want retro Mego action figures that appeal to me. And you can't tell me that everything on this stage would not be appealing to retro collectors, kids of the 1970s, kids of the late 1960s, kids of the very early 1980s that still had Mego when it was out in the stores, toy stores. That's what we want, guys. Guys, your thoughts, your opinions on this topic. Would you like to see Mego return to its retro roots? Would you like to see some of these figures produced by Mego in the upcoming months for the new year? What's your thought on this video? We want to hear everything. Leave your comments right underneath this video in the comment section. Guys, let's get the talk started. Hopefully, someone from Mego will see this and give it some thought. Not to say that they're not thinking about this, guys, but like I said, I don't know if licensing or property rights or issues like that come up, or how that affects what Mego can or cannot put out. I don't know, and they won't say. So we put these videos out to test the waters. But I got to know. Who wouldn't want Mego to produce a window boxed, removable cowl Batman 8-inch action figure? Who wouldn't buy that? Or Shazam, a retro Shazam. Come on, guys. Guys, you know I'm telling the truth. But if you think I'm lying, you don't think I have all the facts, we want to hear that too. Leave it in the comment section right underneath this video, guys. Your thoughts, your opinions. More fun on the way, guys. Stay tuned. You know the routine, guys. God bless. And keep collecting.